Welcome to the Content Beach. So let's roll my intro music. Okay, so this is my first time doing a live stream, and I know that if I don't do this, this podcast is not going to get launched. I always prefer to just do a one take only. And so, hello, welcome to the Content Beach. This is Raya, and I'm the founder of We Thrive by Design. You can visit that www.wethrivebydesign.com. And I help coaches, content creators, educators to launch their digital courses or their online coaching, as well as help them with their tech systems and online digital content marketing. I think that's kind of redundant. Online digital, yeah. So yes, so why am I doing this? I'm doing this because I am trying to practice what I preach. And okay, a little bit of volume adjustment here. Okay, so I hope that's clearer. So I'm doing this because I want to be able to show my clients how to do it, because I've always known how to do it, but first my own content. So here I am, and it's great to be here. I have to cover the Podbean dashboard because I don't want to see if anyone's listening to this. So I'm sorry. I'm not trying to ignore you. I'm just trying to manage my own, you know, um, anxiety. Just like anyone who's going to create content for the first time, it's always going to be so difficult. It's always going to be overthinking, or at least that's for me. That's how I do it. And in a way, it's how I do it for myself. But that is the most valuable thing that I also do for the clients is I am, because they also do it them for by themselves. They also overthink these things. So I am the one strategizing these things for my clients, and it gives them clarity. But for some reason, it's kind of hard. It's really difficult to apply some things to yourself because you have your own limitations, your own mindset on why it's not going to work, or why do you think your voice is not valuable. So by creating this um, podcast or this content, I'm stepping into the shoes of my clients just to show them how it feels, or what it feels like to be vulnerable and getting started with content. Although I have helped personal brands, well known personal brands, with their content marketing, and that means managing their podcasts, running their YouTube channels. It's still different when you do it by yourself or for yourself. So, what is the difference between content marketing versus doing ads? So, for example, one of the things that I commonly work with are online coaches, and they usually launch courses. So, I'm a Kajabi expert, and most of the clients I encounter or get to talk to are launching their courses. But most of these clients get it backwards, and they're not actually prepared for the long, tedious, challenging, but completely satisfying and satisfying journey of launching your course. Because launching a course is very easy. But actually get it to sell and make sure that it scales the way that you want it to scale, then it's a different topic altogether, because you need to merge your product with content marketing. So for example, I always use this, like, it's a donut. You make the most perfect bakery, or the perfect, what do you call this, oh my gosh, I'm what's it called that? Okay, let's just say it's a donut. It's the easiest thing. So you made the perfect donut. And without the proper branding for your donut, you're not going to sell it high end. Okay. So you can just bake something with subpar ingredients and then sell it for very, very high price or at a premium price. But you can also make a subpar one and then you can package it nicely, still using the same subpar ingredients, and you could probably sell it for more premium price. But the question is, will the buyers come back for more? Or you can make a really premium donut based on with premium ingredients, package it as a premium, and then sell it for premium price. That's like launching an online course. But then you have to market it because even if you make that, no one knows that you're making it. So you can either start with creating more of these donuts, and no one's gonna come. You can run some ads, but without quick return of investment, it's not gonna come quickly. Those sales, so you have to balance those things with user generated content, UGC. But that's for another product. So let's go back now to online course. I hope I made a point there. But when you launch your digital business um without strategic way of creating content, it's going to take time for you to actually gain traction in introducing yourself to your audience, the audience who are most likely to buy, the audience who needs your services. Um, it's always about building trust and give them free value first instead of um, selling it right away or running an ad or just asking for the sale, because that way you're setting yourself up for disappointment. I know there are many ways or many other coaches who are teaching the other ways of selling these courses, and it could work, but it always depends on your long term game. Like, do you want these products to only sell when you're running ads? Of course not. You want something that's not going to be, you want something that's sustainable, that doesn't cost you money to make money as much as possible. Or at least the very beginning, you invest a certain amount of money and then you get to have your audience listening to your content and consuming your content before they actually give you, like, um before they even consider buying from you. And those are one of the things that I notice from my clients. And it's kind of disappointing because it feels like a failure for them sometimes when it those things happen. Well, it's not that their messaging is not good. It's just that they have different set of expectations when they set out, to before they even create the sorry. So they have different expectations while creating their courses. It's kind of heartbreaking because it feels like a failure for them. Like, no one even wants what I'm offering. No, people want what you're offering. They just need to find that those kinds of services exist or that you exist. But for them to be but for them to actually be for them to be oh gosh, Okay, this is a hard part of this podcast. Okay, so but for them to actually start considering buying from you, they'd want to see samples first, or they want to see kind of like that your messaging aligns with their personal beliefs. Because even if it's not business related, but how you structure your content, how you provide support, how you provide your um I don't know, your messaging, is that correct? Your offer, it's going to be different. So it's very important to create content. Content is for thought leadership and just to connect with your audience in a way that's authentic. Okay, so this is starting to become very serious. Let me find my okay. I'm not really this serious. I'm just going into thinking mode and actually just verbalizing what's in my mind. So I am kind of, well, obviously, I'm in a monologue at this point. I'm still not looking at the Podbean dashboard. I don't know if anyone's listening, but let's pretend. Let's pretend, okay, that that in my on my Podbean dashboard there are more than 10 listening. Okay. So what else? What are we going to talk about? So yeah, so these content are very important, especially if you want to play the long term game, because the long term game is that's where you should be, and it doesn't matter if you're hiring someone, if you're doing it by yourself, you have to be in it for the long run. And it's I think one of the mindset would be to to say that this is what I do, because if you put your mind like that you have plan B, plan C, plan D, you're not going to make it work. You're not going to be resourceful enough to make it work. You have to you're going to think that, oh, I will just quit this after 2 months of not gaining enough traction. But it takes longer than that. It wouldn't come overnight. So if you are building an online course, and if you want to do an online course, start with having your base audience. That's what I'd say. Because when you have your base audience, you have a small group of people where you can sell to. Instead of launching a course and then going to rely on ads, and you are really going to get frustrated because that is going to be so difficult. Yeah, I think that's what I want to say. So the Content Beach is here to help coaches and content creators or course creators to actually just figure things out, how to make more content in such a way that it resonates with your audience and wouldn't come off as noise. A few weeks ago, when I said, okay, I'm going to take content marketing seriously, like for real, week 1000 for real. This time, I started scrolling on Instagram, and then it hits because when you scroll on Instagram, you're going to have several ways you're going to have several benchmarks, like to compare your content and who you are with these people who already have 100,000 followers or even just 1,000 followers. So it's difficult that way, because when you start creating content, you're going to wonder, Will anyone listen? Do I have anything valuable to offer? Do I have anything that's really useful? And you do have. The key to that is just starting out, just like what I'm doing right now. Like I can create a course because that's just what I do. I can create the perfect launch for the course, but without any audience to sell to, all I'm gonna do is listen to this. And you know, you can't blame your course. You can't blame yourself either for expecting. Okay, I wouldn't say you wouldn't blame, but let's not use the word blame. But you should not say that you failed based on failed course launch. It's because you did not do enough content marketing. And that's the most important thing. So that's why I have this podcast, because most of my clients too are saying, well, you know what? Um Maybe we can just throw some ads. Maybe I can just do this and do that. And that's totally okay. But it's not the right fit for me because I help clients strategize and look at their business as a whole, their messaging as a whole, craft their positioning statement, build their personal brand. Those are the things that I do. And I'm really grateful, really extremely happy with clients who listen to the way that we strategize. So there are clients who still change the course or pivot once in a while, but that is okay. As long as you know that you changing directions is based on something that you have previously benchmarked. Yeah. And then one of the things also that I want to do with this podcast is to help co- my audience to learn about tech. And I have a client when we were first starting out, and she said, um, she wants. I told her she needs to create her content because she wants to have a course. I said, you have to have a content. You have to have a good content marketing of what you actually want to sell in the course. And I said, let's start off. I always start with the first pillar of creating content, which is a long form. And she says, what is a long form? But I didn't know that she was really authentically. She consumes YouTube. She listens to podcasts, but she doesn't listen. She doesn't know that's called long form. Okay, so those things that I want to be able to help my audience to to actually understand in the simplest way. So if you are looking for a bit more technical or a bit more, a bit more um I would say in-depth discussion most of the time, I'm going to try not to be very technical with these because I really want to be able to relate to my audience who are just starting out, and I want to see everyone succeed. I think that's it. I think that's it for the first episode. This is a very long monologue. I have been on air for 19 minutes. Okay, so I'm going to cut it off here. Thank you so much for listening and stay tuned for the next live. Also, do not forget to visit www.wethrivebydesign.com if you want professional help or guidance or coaching on how to launch an online course. And also, I'm launching thecontentbeach.com soon. So, thank you so much for listening. and have a great evening. Bye.